Alright, here's my second video of the year of my garden. I call myself the nighttime gardener. You can call me whatever you want, just as long as you call me for supper. So, here's my little winter garden that I've got started. Got my several rows of cabbage, alternating green and purple cabbage. Got an onion planted in between each one. Onions are great pest control. Got some tomato plants there. Oops. Got a little cabbage plants turned over. I gotta figure out what to do with it. I'll probably do a little raised bed somewhere. Put it in. All my seed, my starters. It's amazing how that water comes up through them little things. Another seed starter. Here's my Brussels sprouts. Here's some lettuce, broccoli. Got some turnips up there. I got a mosquito eater trying to get me. Kayaks. That's what I need to be doing. Right there on the river. Alright, here goes some. Got some peas planted down through here and some turnips. I'm real big on companion gardening. Trying to get better at it, trying to learn. So my garden is always an experiment. I look at it like this. I'm not planting hundreds of acres like some of these big farmers. So if something fails, oh well, I'm learning from it. Maybe one of these days I can have a big garden. We'll see. But this is big enough for me right now. Got some turnips and, like I say, turnips and peas. Right here is radishes. I've got red radishes right in here, and then I've got black radishes all the way down to here. Over here, I've got beets and parsley planted down this row. I've got some spinach down this row and some mustard greens on the far end of it. This is my carrot row right here. Like I say, that's the cauliflower. Then I got lettuce, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. That's my little winter garden. Got it a little bit earlier than I did last year, but still it's later than it should be. I'm still going to put some garlic in between some of these. And it may not do good as far as producing crop, but just planting it and what does grow will help with pest control. And that saves you money. Did last year, it worked for me. Alright, this is the only other thing I got. That's my garden. I've tilled it. It's probably about a 50 footer. 50 by, I guess, about 30. Not counting the little winter garden. Plus I'll have several raised beds. I'll have some tires that I plant some stuff in. But down through here is where my companion planting really is. I did real good with this last year. I have peaches and cream corn, both of these rows. And then down through the middle is straight neck squash, most of it. And I'll do 2 more rows of corn tomorrow going that way. And then 1 more down here, and let me back up so it makes sense to y'all. Instead of doing just straight rows of it, and I'll explain why. So right here's a pole, there's a pole. That's corn going all the way down to those other poles. I don't know if you can see them. So it's 50 foot of corn, peaches and cream. I will come over about 3 foot and do 2 more rows like that. And it'll be a different type of corn. Then down through here to my winter garden, I will do some white corn, about 3 rows. Now let me explain what I'm doing here. Over here neighbor's yard. I don't know if you can see all that. He has a huge garden. He does a lot of corn. Corn works best when it can be near one another, especially if you're going to do corn. You want to do like 2 to 3 rows for sure. More is better. So I'm going to have 3 rows here, 3 rows here. He'll have 6, 7 rows over there. The wind will cross-pollinate my corn with his corn, and that will help each other. And when we get into the season, if you don't know about that, I will show you that how you got the female and the male. That's with all plants, and how that works. But the wind, you know, if you ever seen corn that has the little bitty, my mind's not right. The pods fall onto the female plants and pollinate them. But anyway, but I'll show you all that. Anyway, here's my, like I say, that's my straight neck squash. And when I do these 2 rows over here, it will pretty much be all crook neck squash, because we prefer the crook neck squash, to be honest with you. But over here, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plots of straight neck squash. I have 1, 2 crook neck so far, and then one of these little what do they call them? They're white bush scout squash. It kind of looks funny, like a mushroom. But on this row, I will put all crook neck, and then somewhere else in the garden, I'll put some zucchini. I'm not fooling with the eggplant this year, or the winter squashes. I just didn't have good luck with them last year, and I would like to do them at some time in the future. But my main goal this year is to produce a lot of stuff we can put up and keep. You know, we don't know what this coronavirus is going to do, so I want to have plenty of vegetables, not only for myself, but for people I can share with. But this is my garden. This is my update. Got a lot of work to do still, but I love every minute of it. Makes me happy to see my stuff start growing. And walk over here and show you my fire. Trying to burn this all down. Been clearing fence row this week. Got my 2 box elder tables. I'm going to try to eventually work on them and actually make little tables out of them. I'm trying to get in. I do tree work, so I get a lot of big logs and stuff. That's what that big maple is. And get an ash. I'm burning them on this fire. That's all my wood pile for. Most of that will be used for smoking meat this year. That's cherry. I love cherry. It's the best for smoking brisket. Just make sure you get rid of the bark. Make sure it's seasoned, because cherry apparently puts off. If you know, cherry limbs and leaves will kill a cow or horse if they're wilting, and then the cows and horses or livestock eats on them, because apparently they put off cyanide poison. So, but you have to get past a certain point and they're okay. But that is some of the best wood you've ever used for smoking meats when it seasons. I've tried a bunch of different, and so far it has been my favorite. But there you go. Love of fire. Well, thank you if you watch this video, thank you for watching The Nighttime Gardener. This is Derek, and have a good night.